Hey everybody. Well, we're out on an adventure with the neighbor Mac. We're gonna walk up towards the lake. Say hey, Mac.
Hey, Mac.
And see what's going on at the lake, see how frozen it is, because we've had some pretty cool weather. So come along. You got it?
Yeah, some points.
We're crossing over little springs here is what we're doing. This area is loaded with them. As you can see, the hoarfrost is really coming out on some of this stuff here, pulling out the moisture. See the creek? We're almost down to where the beaver dam used to be. There's been a coyote or something through here. So right over there is where the old beaver dam used to be. It's been dismantled by a few people over the years. Every time they try to rebuild it, it gets taken down because we don't want them here. They will flood this valley and we'll lose our spring for drinking water. Alright, we're coming up on the little footbridge. Well, follow in, Mac. That's the most ice I've seen on this thing. Huh. All right, we're just coming up to the south end of the area right before the lake. We're following looks like little wolf tracks. You can see them all over the place here. If you guys remember from the summertime, this area where I was canoeing down when I was bringing the canoe back to the house with John. This does not freeze completely. Look at the little balls out there on the ice. Isn't that funny? It looks like something's been out there, but nothing's been out there.
Yeah.
In the summertime, when you walk it out here, you'll actually sink down a couple inches with each step. Look at all the baby Christmas trees. Looks like that wolf went right through there.
Yep.
Where'd he go after that? I see a hole in the water over there. I bet that's the otter.
Oh, there's some tracks right here.
Yeah, those are otter. But the wolf went right over there. You can see the tracks there.
Yep. Wolf otter.
Yeah, that's where the otter's coming up. See how it's broken out?
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like that wolf came through over here too. Guess what, guys? We're at the lake. And I didn't bring my rangefinder to find out exactly how far to cross. I think it's about 400 yards across. Anyways, we'll be back in a few. Mac and I are gonna walk the edge of the lake a little bit, but we gotta be quiet so we can listen for breakage. It's probably a good 4 inches deep right now, but I don't have a way to tell, so we're just gonna be careful. We'll be back. The stride, he's about 15 inches between strides.
Okay, heart.
So Mac and I are almost across the lake. We started from way down yonder, way over there, and it's only taken us maybe about 8 minutes to walk this far. It's not bad because we're on the ice. Anyways, we're gonna kind of walk up one of these little valleys here, see what's around, and then head back. We're gonna do another little trip this weekend. You guys can come along too. It should be pretty fun. All right, we're on the other side of the lake, making our way back. We get a tapper here because I see a little bit of a spring right there. Not hearing any cracking, so we'll walk a little bit more before we see if we fall through. If we do, we're blaming Mac. And this side's had a critter walking around as well, so this area's got a lot of activity for animals. That's a young wolf. That's not that fox. That's a lot bigger. So after Mac and I have been walking around out here, my confidence on the ice here, I think we might have to come out here and do some ice fishing. Where's your ice skates, Mac? And those that don't know, Mac's from Florida too. The wolf was chasing something there. Oh, we had something, because you can see the print of it right there in the snow. So we had something here. Oh, they're getting the push-ups for the muskrats. You see where he's been digging them. And they've been napping over here too. Napping and pooping. This area has a ton of springs. This is why I've always been leery about coming out on the ice, because I know there's a lot of water coming in here. But seeing this now, I don't think I'd have an issue coming out here trying to go ice fishing. I'd probably do it more on that side. So, you know, at that end where we're going, and at that end where we were, there's creeks that come in that flow year round. And look at there, we got Mr. Fox's tracks from this side of the lake. We ran into him over there. So if it holds a fox, it should be able to hold us, right?
Oh.
And that's where we started from. Yeah, sometime this week we'll be up over there. Whoa, 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 whoa. I felt that one. I'm getting up over here, Mac.
That's a good idea.
All right, we're gonna get off the ice. We'll catch you guys in a few. Actually, I'll leave it on just in case we fall through. Don't get so close to me. I don't like you that much, Mac. There's another spring coming out right there. That's probably why it's like it is. Just listen for cracking. Stop. Here, it's a little bit more kingy. And another spring coming out right there. Whew, that just cracked. You see it right there. Be brave. We're almost across.
Hey, Alfred, let me get my camera out front of me.
Shut up, Mac.
Going through?
And yet another spring right here. Well, that was our walk around the lake, guys. What do you think, Mac?
Nice. Love it.
So we're gonna get across right here, and we'll get back to the side-by-side. We gotta get water at the spring, and then go back and have something to munch on the house. And those that remember, this is right over there. This is where I normally keep my canoe, but we took it out for the year. It's at the house, underneath the porch. We'll get it back out here next year, hopefully where it's easier access to it. Well, that was fun. That was an adventure. We'll see you guys later on the next part where we go out on Saturday. Looks like diamonds everywhere. There's a spot over here, so we should be able to get across. Let's see if we can find our spot to jump across here. We could find a narrow spot. You ready? That's about 4 feet, guys. If I don't make it, Mac's gonna laugh. All right, here we go. You gotta document in case somebody falls in. Just push off with your left toe. Splash!
That was close.
I can't believe my walking step broke. You hurt your arm? He hurt his arm jumping across the creek. These southern people. These southern people. Yeah, now you can see all those I was talking about. The big piece of rock down there. That's some big bedrock.
That's a pretty good size, yeah.
This is the area where Esta dropped our ham last year, and she should be dropping us a turkey sometime soon.
You got fire?
Yeah. There's all kinds of weird stuff over here. Right here is a pipe sticking out of the hill. See it? So it is day 2 of hiking around out in the bush with Mac. We're down by the tracks. As you can see here, that's south. That's north. We're going to be heading north, and we have a spot we're going to start hiking, and I'll show you what it looks like when we get there. This is 2 purposes for me today. I'm looking for diamond willow, and we're looking to see if there's a trail down there that we had seen before. We'll be back. All right. Made up the first little hill. 1,000 more to go. And as you can see, this little ridge is pretty flat and pretty bare, meaning no trees. I'd say it's what, maybe 15 foot across, Mac?
Yeah, pretty close.
And there's a telegraph pole there. There's another pole with insulators. And these telegraph wires were actually used into the 80s, which I think is pretty crazy. But Alaska is quite far behind on certain things. But here you can see how there was definitely a road cut in. And this area probably would have been used up until the 80s to maintain it if there was any breakage. That creek you see down there is when it comes from our spring in the lake. That's a bigger wolf track. A little bit bigger than the other one, in fact. Kind of cool, huh? It's steeper than it looks on camera, guys, trust me. Especially when you're not a hiker. Or haven't done it in a while. Both Mac and I have done a good amount of the Appalachian Trail. That's when we were a lot younger. Yes, Mac, I'm saying we're old. Train truck.
Yeah, we're not taking this all the way up here. No, jeez.
That is huge. It goes all the way over around that. Oh. You see that crook in the tree? That's formed. And back in the day, the locals would bend the trees to shape and make directions. And that actually is pointing over that way, and that's where our spring is. So they're using that to point the direction of where the water is. It's kind of cool to actually see one firsthand pointing in a direction where you know there is water. Yeah, we actually found a telegraph pole with the guy wire still on it. That's kind of crazy. We're kind of coming up to the edge over here. Just want to see if we can see the lake. Yeah, it's hard to see, but that's the lake. And way over yonder, you can actually see where the tundra is above the tree line, which isn't too far from our place. I'd love to get up there on a snow machine, but I don't know how to get there. Hey, there's a spring here. There's water right there. Nice. Now we gotta check that out. It looks like a little creek right here. There's water there. Wait until you see how high above the river we are. There's a little waterfall there. I can hear it.
Oh, nice.
And the tracks are down there. Oh, I'd probably say it's about 100 feet down. Maybe 150 feet down. But this little ice patch goes right down the hill. That'd be kind of cool to check out in the summertime. I bet it'd have some gold hidden in there, guys. New spot to go look for in the summer. Excavator. Huh. Cool. Alright, so you guys have an idea. We're way up there. This is one of the boulders, a couple of the boulders we've seen about halfway down. So I'm going to say that elevation, probably about 100 foot, well, about 150 foot elevation difference. Yeah, there's wolf tracks going out to the island out here. And we were up there too. And I'm going to say that's probably close to 200 feet up.
At least.
Alright, so we got back to our stop quicker than we thought, so we're going to make lunch down here at our stop. And what time is it, Mac? Like 2?
Yeah. Let's do it.
And this is a lightning strike. Ed from Mountain Marina told Adam and I about these, so we had to buy them, and we're really liking them. Pull one of these little pillows out. And this is just like cotton, and it gets something in it to help make it catch. So we're gonna put like that. What's unique about this lightning strike is when you pull out your rod, you see it's got a tube there, and you actually stick it inside, and it gives it direction, so you get more onto your spot. You see how quick I do this? And it's done, it's already going. And then it just goes right back in, and it's ready to go again for the next time. Alright, our fire's going. Max got SpaghettiOs, I've got chicken noodle soup. And we're just using the twigs off a dead spruce to get our fire going. We're, like I said, we're right at our stop. We can't do it in front of the shelter, because Phyllis and Adam just put wood chippings down there, and I don't want to start a fire. All right. But yeah, the lightning strike's pretty good. If you guys want an in-depth, I'll go a little bit more in depth with that for you. Oh, that's good. Nice and hot. Anyways, guys, if you're not out adventuring, guys, you need to get outside more, spend more time outside. Going to a local park, or going to someplace like where Mac and I are right now, 15 miles from the nearest road or town, hiking about out in the woods.
Well, as you can see here by the map and the GPS information,
I was very off on the elevation gain and descent that we had. I started my tracker right at the base of the hill right before we started climbing, because I did shut my tracker off once we got back to our stop. So that tells me there's about 12 foot of difference between where we started and where we ended, meaning alongside the tracks. Now you can't tell by all the photos and the videos, but the hills that we were coming down on were at probably about a 60-degree angle. They were rather steep, and there was times where we were sliding. But if you study the area you're going to descend before, usually you can plan out which way you're going to go in case you do slide, where you can have things to grab a hold of. We didn't have to worry about that on this day. Well, that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this adventure with neighbor Mac, who has since gone back to Florida. And we will be doing a little bit more of this throughout the winter. And I'm probably going to try to change it and use my Insta 360 so you guys can actually just pan around as you're looking around. Anyways, you have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.